colossal square. An ominous silence prevails over the city entrance, shattered sporadically by the early morning traffic. The driver took us to the nearest point where we could reach the scene of the military operation. We disembarked and started moving very cautiously. Our movement between the streets was not natural due to the interlacing of the armed group's locations. Combing operations from one quarter to another, and from one alley to another, and even from one building to another continued. To move about, we had to keep a smooth posture in order to avoid sniper fire.
وما زالت الاشتباكات كما تسمعون ما زالت الاشتباكات مستمرة في هذه المنطقة. مجموعة من الجيش السوري حيث تقوم بعملية اقتحام إلى أحد الأبنية حيث يتواجد من عناصر جبهة النصرة داخل هذه الأبنية.
From one alley to another, we had to run to avoid getting caught in the snipers' crosshairs. We discovered that the armed men set an apartment on fire in order to cover up their retreat, without any care about private property. We entered the building with the group of the Syrian army to discover that a sniper was hiding in the adjacent building. We could clearly hear his scream. He was waiting for a chance to shoot us.
اسمع
The combat has started, but the sniper's voice disappeared after he opened fire at us.
كما نتابع طبيعة البناء الموجودة في دارية، طبيعة الأماكن هذه، بعض الملاجئ التي يستخدمها المسلحون كمخابئ لهم وهي تحت الأرض تقريبا بطابقين. الآن ننزل إلى هذه المناطق ومن ثم نتقدم باتجاه بعض القناصين الذين انتشروا من قبل المسلحين في هذا الاتجاه. الله أكبر. يلا بعد عمل شقة أول فينا أنا بعد المجموعة الثانية.
فورا نحتل الدفاع بهذاك.
Despite the difficulty of the combat, the Syrian army managed to achieve a very important milestone in Darya, reaching the outskirts of the city. The sun was about to set. The military commander advised us to leave the place before dark. The Syrian army took us in an armored vehicle, leaving behind us Darya to draw a tale of a homeland and to minimize the agony and pain in citizens' hearts, and to write heroic tales and stories of the Syrian army on the extension of the chart of pain.
Aleppo, the economic capital of Syria, has a geographic strategic location that stretches to the Turkish borders. Armed groups concentrated their efforts on rural areas in Aleppo. They first entered the northern part of its rural area. Later, they stretched to other parts. After they succeeded in controlling some border crossing points with Turkey, where they got access to both the eastern highway that leads to Ar-Raqa province and the southern rural area leading to Salamiya Road, they declared an Islamic emirate, just as the Al-Nusra Front had proclaimed several times before. The plan of the armed group began from the east, where they managed to surround factories belonging to the Ministry of Defense, in addition to the Scientific Research Center. Their goal was to reach Aleppo International Airport and to force local inhabitants to leave the area. The al-Nusra Front believed that Aleppo had fallen into its hands. The decision was taken. A comprehensive military operation in the southern part of rural Aleppo, with the goals of creating a safe area surrounding Aleppo International Airport and dominating the strategic highway that leads to Iraq province, plus cutting off all logistic roads to the armed groups and opening up new supply routes for the Syrian army from Hama province. Strategically, the Syrian army surrounded Aleppo from east and west. In other words, ever since this operation, this important city has been off the military equations and has boosted the morale of the areas. All arrangements were in place. Accomplished fighters well versed in guerrilla war tactics, experienced military leaders, and a clandestine plan along with prayers and supplications. The starting point was Ethria, a town located on the road between El Salamiyah and Hama, which stretches out to the southern part of rural Aleppo. Military units moved in order to accomplish their mission. In the first battle, all army units were examining their power and speed, as well as the precision of the information at their disposal. Some information poured in from the Frontal Exploration Unit. The al-Nusra Front was setting up an ambush